Hello everyone, Debbie here. Welcome back to Barossa Valley Crafts. Today I'm going to do some work using some stamps, a stamp and die set from Couture Creations. So we're going to be using this one. It's from the Australia Lucky Country collection. So this is what we're going to be working with today. I'm not going to be making a card as such. It's just to show some ways that this stamp and die set can be used. But also a part of this Australia, the Lucky Country collection, there is other stamps and dies. They're really pretty. There's this ephemera set. So there's 78 little pieces already pre-die cut, ready to use. There's this 6.5 by 6.5 inch paper pad with double-sided papers. They're really pretty papers, and even if you're not Australian, they're still nice to use. And there's this big 12 by 12 pad that's all double-sided as well. So that's some of the other stuff in this collection, but today we're just concentrating on this stamp and die set. So I don't know about you, but with me, when I buy something these days, I like to see that it's got more than one way to use it. So I'm going to show you some ways that we can use this stamp and die set, and then in another tutorial I will show you how to make cards with what we make today. So to start off with, I've got my stamp press here, and I'm going to use this stamp. Now, a little trick: when you're using the stamp, if you take your back acetate off, there we go, and then you can use your acetate to work out where you want your work laid. So if you line up your acetate on your picture, on your stamp, work out where you want it. Pop a couple of little magnets down on the cardstock under your acetate. Then, hang on, let me just line that up. I need this to be fairly well lined up with the stamping underneath, the image underneath, because we're going to die cut it. So then we're going to pick it up, remove the acetate, and now you know exactly where it's going to stamp on your card. So I'm just going to pop another magnet down. Just got to make sure I've got it in the right spot, so I don't want it to interfere with the stamping. No, that might not work. I'll put it over here. That's got it. So for stamping on this particular one today, I'm going to use the Card Deco Platinum Black ink. So I'm going to ink up the stamp. So when you're stamping, make sure you give it a really good ink coverage. But the beauty of the stamp press platform is, if you happen to miss a bit, providing your card hasn't moved and your stamp hasn't moved, you can re-stamp in exactly the same spot. So hopefully I've got that all covered. And you don't have to use this colour ink, you can use any colour you like. Now we'll stamp that onto the card. So when you're stamping, make sure you allow time for the ink to absorb into the card and give it a nice firm press. And there's our image. So I'll just clean my stamp off. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to remove that. I'm just going to pop that aside to dry. Now while that's drying, we're going to cut a template from the black cardstock here. Now you'll understand the template in a moment, so I'm just going to take that off there. So what I'm also using here is this. So this is a quick release die paper from Couture Creations, and when you're using intricate dies like this, has got a lot of little tiny pieces to be cut out. So we're going to line that up on that bit of paper, and I'll bring in my die cutting machine. So I'm using the Go Cut and Emboss die cutting machine here, which is a manual one. It's a Couture Creations one, but I also have the electric one, but that's a bit big and heavy to be carrying over here for this. I'm going to pop a shim on there just to make sure there's enough thickness on there, and pop that through my die machine. So while I'm doing this, I'll just let you know that I do have a couple of Facebook groups. One's called Cardmaking for Beginners and Beyond. The other is called Barossa Valley Crafts. So I'll leave the links in the description. You're more than welcome to join if you want to. Okay, we'll just pop that out of the way. Okay, so now we're going to remove the die cut. Now this, I want to keep this because it's going to be my stencil, and you will understand why in a moment. But nothing is wasted, because now, if you don't want to do a stamped image, you can do this, and that is now just a black silhouette. So you'll notice with this release paper, all the little bits and pieces just drop out so easily. And that's the beauty of using that quick release die paper. And then if you want to, you can always use that part from your die paper as well. So very little wastage here, which is a good thing. I'll just get rid of all these little bits and pieces because they've all fallen out onto my cutting mat. Okay, so don't throw those away. You might use that for something else. So what I'm going to do now is, using the stencil, I'm going to place that over here. First of all, I'll explain why. We're now going to cut this image out. And if you put this over here, you can't always see if it's going to cut it in the right spot. So by making this stencil, we're going to place that over the stamped image, like so, lining it all up. And then I have here some Go Letterpress removable craft tape. So this is just a very low tack tape, and I'm going to tape this into place because I don't want that moving. And then I'll bring the die machine back in. So I've got my big base plate, the cutting plate. I'm going to pop my whoops, I moved it. Hang on, I'll just reset it up. I must have bumped it. Okay. There we go. I think that's... No, it's still not right. There, that's got it. Okay. So then I'm going to put my quick release die paper over that. And then putting my die in here, because of the stencil underneath, you'll feel that will lock into place. Actually, let me try. It might be easier, rather than doing it that way, if you put the quick release paper between the stencil and the card might be better because it'll lock in a lot easier. So we'll do that again, line it up again. Okay, where are we? There we go. So that's got it lined up. And I'll just take that back into place. Now we'll try again with the, so because you've got your stencil there, when you put your die on, you'll feel, there we go, it's locked in to that stencil. All right, so now put my shim on, top plate, pop that through the die machine. And we'll go back. Alrighty. So now we'll all pop out. So there's our windmill and tree. And again, you can use your quick release die cut paper for something if you want to, and we'll just then pop out all the little pieces from here. Okay, so and I'll just pop this out of the way. All right, I've got a little pokey tool here, so from there that'll all pop out fairly easily because of the quick release paper that's in there. If you've got a little brush, sometimes that might help, just to get those little bits out. There we go. So you just keep doing that until you've got all your little bits out. There's still a few more there. I should have prepared one earlier, already done. Save a bit of time, but never mind, at least you can see what's involved in doing it. So I won't do them all because it'll take a little while yet. I'll just get all this out of the way. So what I'm going to do now, you can see there's still some little white bits showing. So using the same ink that I did the stamping with, I'm now going to go over that, and this will then give some shading to your die cut. Oops. So it'll just give it a little bit more dimension with a bit of different coloured shading through it. And again, you can do different colours, you can do whatever colours you like. Okay, so there we go. So you can see there, I'll move this out of the way. So actually I missed a little bit down the bottom here. There we go. So now you can see it's got bits of shading, so it's not all just one colour. There's a bit of variation of colour in your die cut. So that's another way you can do it. Now I've already cut another one out here. So this one I've just cut out in white. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to colour it in. So I've got some of the Winkles glitter markers here. And I'm just going to use that to colour in this one. So let's see, we can have a green tree. So the Winkles are a new released product from Couture Creations. They are a gorgeous ink that's nice and shimmery. So often you want something shimmery and glittery. They come in, I've got 12 different colours. There's 12 more new ones to be released soon. So I'm just going to colour in the tree, and we'll do some green grass. I'll just give it a shake, make sure the little glitter bits all mix through it. And we'll just colour in some grass. If it starts drying out, you just give it a really gentle squeeze, and it'll bring some more ink down to the brush. I don't want to squeeze it too hard and fast. There we go. And we'll just finish colouring in the grass. And this is a great way you can do different colours on a die cut rather than having them all one colour, or having to cut out lots of pieces to create different coloured pieces. So now we'll do a brown tree trunk. If you don't have these, you can use pencils. You could even colour them in with inks. So I've got a silver one here, so we'll do the Windmill in silver. Just pop a little bit more ink onto the nibs. Gentle squeeze. Don't want to squeeze them too hard and fast, or it just goes everywhere, so you've got to be really careful. But a little bit goes a long way with these. Okay, so there's the Windmill. And just pop a bit of black on this part. There we go. If I move that out of the way, you can then see how that is. So there's another way you can do it. So easy, and like I say, very little wastage. So from here you've got your stencil that we cut out in black, which will then also give you a black silhouette cutout to use. And then there's the one that we stamped and then went over it again with the brush and blended more ink to give it some different shading. And of course there's the quick release die paper that we used, the quick release tape, and the die and stamp set. So lots of fun, more ways than one to use the same products, which is always a bonus, I think, anyway. So I hope you've liked that, and like I say, I will do some follow-up tutorials using what we have created here to show how they can be turned into cards. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Bye.